Alright everybody, welcome back to another Earthbound Super Series Ancient Cave race. We've got Temple versus AndyPerfect in the brackets, trying to stay in the winner's brackets, trying to go to the top two. The loser will be able to continue on in the loser's bracket. I'm Hunter RNG, and with me today I've got Ryko Ryder. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. This is a rematch of last year's grand finals. So it's anybody's guess who will win this. This is strictly a coin flip of a race. It's going to just depend on whoever finds the correct path first. And it's really just no telling. These two are some of the best in the business.
Alright, and we will get them going.
So I have taken a look at the brackets to see where these two runners will be going. The winner will be facing the winner of the other semifinal match, which is between Thomas and myself. And the loser will be facing Zakubi in loser's semis. So both of these runners are going to start with a teddy bear in their inventory, which is going to help their party members absorb some attacks before they're able to gain a few levels to be able to survive attacks on their own. We do see hamburgers in the Toto shop on Temple side, which is going to be fantastic. There are 3 hamburger skips in the Ancient Cave, and checking these shops for skip items is very, very important. And speaking of hamburger skips, both of our runners finding the hamburger skip, but Temple is the only one that is able to make use of that. Andy does find the Foreside Theater. I wonder if we will see Andy turn back to that skip if they can find a hamburger. Fortunately, Andy does run into an arms dealer a little bit too early to pick up a bunch of ammo, but does pick up a couple of extra big bottle rockets thanks to selling some initial items, which that will help out a lot with the early floors.
See, Temple's already found a king banana, which is going to help him potentially with a future skip, should he find the right door for that.
He's already passed by that skip, so we're going to see Temple take this. And if this winds up being too far ahead, we might see Temple go back to that mid skip. Temple finds the arms vendor as well. Might pick up a couple of big bottle rockets as well. And does choose to pick up 1. So it'll be interesting to see how deep this King Banana skip goes. Now, taking skips can be very dangerous because you can have no idea where you're at on a particular floor or even which floor you're on. So these runners are going to be looking for the types of enemies, and it does look like the skip does take a Temple to the beginning of whichever floor that they are on. So I'll see if I can actually figure out what floor Temple is on, although Temple does have access to a Hintman as well, so we may see where Temple has gone. And we do have a Doggo Seed. But that first boss being Starman Jr., he will be very glad to skip. So I will see if I can figure out what floor he is on.
Yeah, the hitman said Temple is on floor 4.
That's where I thought. Temple is on floor 4, so that's not a deep skip.
Yep, Doggo Seeds. I'm sure Temple's gonna find every route possible to get to level 9 without going through the level 8 boss.
Oh, certainly. Oh, certainly. You want to avoid that fight if at all possible, because not only is it dangerous, it's also extremely resource intensive. And depending on whether these runners can find money in the mid-game, they may want to do everything that they can to skip that. This large protoplasm group is not something that you want to find very early, but as long as Paula has PK Fire Alpha, they're very easy to clean up.
I noticed Temple marking the exit mouse there, because this is a long room. And it could lead to even further long rooms.
That's a very good strategy. Whenever you encounter either a hub or a large room, you'll typically want to mark your spot, and those are diamonds on the other side of that four-side theater desk, so we do see Andy popping in and out to try to manipulate some spawns. So this could wind up potentially very deep in the cave. So we shall see where this goes. This actually takes us to floor 3, so Andy is going to fight the floor 3 boss. All right. So as it turns out, there was another skip to get very close to the 3rd floor, and a lethal ass pyroglyph on floor 3 is pretty nasty. Gonna go for some backup freezes. Oh, there goes that teddy bear.
Did that say 400-some damage to the teddy bear?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, the hieroglyphs you encounter in Scaraba, which is in, I want to say, about 2/3 to 3/4 through the game. So they deal a ton of damage, but they're also worth a lot of experience. Finding the lethal-ass pyroglyph on floor 3 is very unusual.
Man, look at those turbo level-ups. Gotta love them.
And this will actually give Andy a pretty serious experience advantage over Temple.
Yeah, very true. Andy marking the exit mouse, just in case. Both of the runners are now on floor 4. Got there very differently, but we're both there.
That is a very, very good idea, because both of these runners have not found a telephone yet.
I think Andy did on floor 1. But I don't remember how much further back that was now. Andy's now found the same information, also sees it's a carbon dog seed.
These are actually just pretty nasty bosses in general. Although we don't have Electrospectre on 7, but we have a lot of pretty nasty things, and it was a very good thing that Temple laid that exit mouse, otherwise that was going to be a big backtrack.
Yeah, I changed it to floor 1 for about 3 seconds and changed it right back.
Andy finding an ATM as well. In the department store, we're generally going to be looking for upgraded weaponry and skip items, such as this wet towel. Good on him picking that up.
Alright, Temple's found the floor 3 boss.
So now they are both on floor 4 again. See if Andy can find anything cool. Clearly, Bat's not a terrible pickup. I would have considered selling selling his other equipment first, because he was only about $25 short of the better bat, and the Mr. Baseball bat is a significant upgrade. So even though Temple does have a little bit of an exploration advantage, oh, look at this. Andy getting paid finding that wet towel. This could lead deeper into the cave. Now, because he is on floor 4, this could lead backwards. Any skip will take you between 2 and 5 floors away from your current floor.
I gotta imagine.
Based on the enemies that we're seeing, the skip does look like it is ahead. So I'll see if I can figure out exactly how far ahead that is. But it is definitely ahead. But based on the enemies I saw, it felt like it was 6. No. I can tell you that Andy is on floor 7.
Very nice. That's a good, hopefully a good skip. Hopefully it doesn't bite him in the end.
And speaking of skips, Temple appears to have found a skip.
With the pencil eraser. But not taking it yet.
This is a heal, but it does not revive, unfortunately. But based on the treasure we're seeing, this has to be pretty deep in the cave. Because Pixie's bracelet usually doesn't show up until pretty late. Now, one thing that Chaz did to make despawning enemies a little bit harder in the Ancient Cave is he's jacked up most of the spawn rates.
Thanks, Chaz. We appreciate it.
So depending on how much patience Temple has, he might want to just take a fight here. Looks like that's what's going on. Does have 3 kids up now, though.
Andy doing good work to get around those spawns in the Monotoli building.
Oh, absolutely. Andy is very, very good at the vanilla game, has held the world record for glitchless on several occasions. And those skills coming into play here, both in avoiding enemies on the overworld and in just amazing menu work. It may not seem like much, but menu work does make a difference. And it does look like Temple has found the end of the current floor. Might take another look at that.
I like seeing him see those UFOs and be like, nope, I'm out.
Might take another look.
Ooh, Tucson.
Well, it's better to see it here than on floor 9. You never want to see those giant hubs on floor 9, just ever. Both of our runners actually in and around relatively giant hubs right now. Magicant does have a fair number of entrances, and we saw Tucson. We also saw a Temple pick up an eraser. That could be potentially used as a skip as well. We're going to see Andy pick up skip items, even though it's unlikely to actually skip forward, because he wants to do anything that he can to skip doggos, especially considering his ammo situation. Those two put together have so much HP. Even in vanilla, they have 5,000 HP put together.
Chaz, I agree. I'm enjoying the step sound.
Looking like more and more of a bust.
Did Andy take a skip and I missed it? I think he's back at floor 4 now.
He might have not been able to progress on floor 7.
Oh, I think he took that one there. So now he's back on 7.
Probably was trying to figure out whether that skip led forward or backward. Very smart use of exit mouse there. And we have 2 more hamburger skips. So if one of these leads to floor 9, this could very well be a repeat of last year's finals.
Ooh, this looks forward.
This looks promising. This looks promising.
Matter of fact,
Those
that's
look
gotta
like
be
Fire
9.
Spring enemies to me.
I'm gonna go ahead and mark it.
I'm going to go ahead and verify that information, but that does look like floor 9.
Looks like Temple's gonna take another death. I think Temple has to walk from floor 1 now. I don't know if he's contemplating that. Temple, don't stop!
Because he was on 7 before, then this has to be 9.
Of course we wouldn't expect anything different. Of course Andy's on floor 9 in 15 minutes.
Has reached out to us and said his game is locked right now.
Oh no!
He cannot move. Not something you want to have happen to you in such a race like this. That's too bad.
Did he reach out to you on Discord?
No, on SRTV itself.
Oh, is it not? Oh, I know why I don't see it. Alright, well, I guess Temple has to hope that Andy has a lot of trouble on floor 9.
No kidding. It looks like he is all the way back at the beginning because he did not save. I have never heard of anything like this happening before.
Let's see if he can remember the path he took to get a few quick skips in.
He should. He's very, very aware of his surroundings. Temple does a lot of Ancient Cave. I want to say Temple does more Ancient Cave than anyone in this tournament except maybe Doc. Oh my, look at this room that Andy is in.
Andy, wait, is that a green?
Very, very nice green.
Wow, dude.
There were five Darkonet enemies in there. Any of them? Hello? Nice vanilla entrance, Chaz.
This is just straight up 3 tunnel.
I would take the real 3 tunnel over this one any day. When stars fall and everyone dies. Because that's what happens when you run into the Ghost of Starman. They're also very, very fast and difficult to run from, and this is almost certainly going to be a wipe. Hopefully, for his sake, he can get out of this. Oh, he got out with 1 health. Nasty, nasty enemies. Oh, that's not good. And it led to a dead end, too. He's going to have to try to get away from this fight, but those Ghost of Starmen will cast a Starstorm on the first turn, and he knows it. Not a lot Andy could really do about that. And that's the danger of skipping to floor 9. What you'll see some runners do in those cases when they reach floor 9 is to try to ambush a single enemy or relatively easy groups of enemies for the floor, so you can try to get a little bit of XP to be able to survive those big attacks. Or at least buy you enough time that you can heal or run from them. And Andy just deciding better of it and taking a reset. And Temple back on floor 4. So it didn't take too long to get back to where they were, but the experience situation is not going to be too good. I'm a little surprised. Oh, there he goes for it. Little surprised at no save here. And then he just did. So I think what Andy is going to be looking for here is probably an arms dealer that sells super bombs. Because even though he is on floor 9, Andy doesn't really have a Gygas plan yet. You can't go into that fight without a plan, or you're just gonna get killed. DX Water Vendor has multi-bottle rockets, but without any accessory that increases speed. Oh, this could be a good source of money for Andy. We have found Happy Happy Village, which has the free shop. But before we do that, I wonder if we'll see Andy go for trying to kill this Starman. Doesn't look like it. And this is what we were talking about before, with getting that first fight under your belt whenever you skip floors. Because a temple is still at level single digits, looks like about level 2 or 3. And it looks like we have Horns of Life and DX Water in the free shop. But that Horn of Life is the single most expensive item in the shop, and because of that, we will not see any money laundering from Andy today. Oh, a C pendant in the carrot key chest. That's a big find for him. You typically don't see Franklin badges on floor 9, so we are going to need to watch out for Thunders in the final fight, but he's just going to slap that C pendant onto his prey character. Probably wouldn't mind finding another one, but given the lack of damage that we have currently, and how quickly he got to floor 9, I would not be surprised to see Andy at least spend a little bit of time looking for a heavy bazooka.
Chat's saying he's already found a heavy bazooka, he's already found a Franklin badge, he's already found a rabbit's foot, and a star pendant. Good grief, AndyPerfect.
Oh my. And he's just looking for Gygus. This could wind up being a repeat of last year's finals very easily.
I didn't even see the enemy that Temple got in a fight with.
Oh, red Antoids at level 2 are just... they're not a happy time at all. A good heads-up decision on Andy for checking these presents. That brain food lunch could wind up being very valuable damage. Or not very valuable damage, but very valuable psychic point restoration for the final fight. Andy might take a couple more levels to get a Shield Sigma, but it may not be the case because we have seen Andy do Gygus fights without Shield Sigma in the past. But it does make the fight a lot more dangerous. And it looks like Andy has found the start of the floor.
Chicken! We threw the chicken away.
But that's what you're supposed to do with the chicken, is you're supposed to set it free. Good on Andy for that. Good on Andy for saving the animals. Temple's still trying to get that first fight out of the way on floor 4 without losing too many kids, but with the enemies that are on this floor, it won't be easy. Especially not with Pooh out of psychic points. Now both of them are out of psychic points. Does get out of the fight and will gain a few levels. So this should give Temple a nice buffer to be able to explore this floor with. The hyper spinning Robo is probably the easiest floor 9 enemy to deal with in general, so it's what you want to see. Coming straight off of either a skip to floor 9 or after the... well, specifically a skip to floor 9. Just because they give a lot of experience and typically keel over in a couple of freezes. And it does look like Andy is going to be doing a bit of grinding here, most likely for Shield Sigma. This is a good call. Because based on how quickly you've got to floor 9, you have to feel that you're ahead. And the last thing you want to do is to rush Gygus when you're not ready. Because a death to Gygus loses anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes, typically. And it looks like Temple is going to take on the floor 4 boss after reaching the end of this long, long boss corridor and just go on to floor 5.
Do you have the floor 4 boss info available or not? I don't remember who
I don't
it's
remember it
supposed
off
to
the
be.
top of my head.
Okay.
It is Guardian Digger, it's the mole.
Okay.
We have seen many, many races in the past where one runner has spent a lot of time on floor 9 and just been unable to find Gygus while the other runner catches up, so don't count Temple out of this yet. But Andy does have a significant level advantage and a significant knowledge advantage. But as far as health goes, Andy is in pretty good shape. The range on Beta is anywhere between 90 and 270, so having over 200 hit points gives you a pretty good leg up on surviving a Beta, even if you do hit the wrong end of that coin flip. And it does look like Andy has a Shield Sigma now, so it's just off to figure out where Gygus is.
Temple making quick work of the Guardian Digger on to level 5.
And more importantly, we'll get a ton of levels for it. You'll often see players fight the Guardian Diggers when they get to a Mole Cave just to gain experience. Good on Andy of remembering where the floor 9 heal is. That's arguably the most important one to remember. Temple will pick up the picnic lunch, as that is a skip item.
Temple able to save on floor 5 now. That should help out in the future. Andy doing some nice dodging.
Well, you can tell he's played this game a few times.
Oh, yeah.
But it does look like all the entrances of Happy Happy Village are just nothing but a black hole. Very nice green on Andy's side.
Andy finding a skip, but he knows that that goes backwards, so he is not interested.
It feels like we've seen a lot of this floor 9. Oh, this is a screen you don't want to see. But given the amount of floor 9 that we've seen, I don't blame Andy at all for taking this.
He gets nice, calm music while he walks around, too.
And meanwhile, Temple continuing exploration of floor 5. Oh, and a Goddess Ribbon. That is best in slot for Paula. Well worth the price of admission. In the vanilla game, that is a 1 in 128 drop from the Ghost of Starman, and it is her best defensive accessory, providing 120 points of defense.
I think Andy was trying to get to that save down there at the bottom, and unfortunately got a red scroll here.
But between freezes and heavy bazooka, he can clean up almost any normal encounter that's not just full of enemies. This is a good save. I like the save here.
What's
just
behind
because
the
there
fire
can't be
cave
too
door?
much of this floor 9 left.
Fire cave door, give us something good.
That's not terrible, I'm sure that's welcome. Oh, and there's the noodle
There.
room. Andy is in pretty...
Oh!
Yep, that is the widest character on the character map for Earthbound. So filling it up with 29 of those will take you all the way to the end of that text box. We're going to see Andy do a little bit of prep for Gygus.
He doesn't even have to do the exit mouse. He saved a room and a half back.
But with C Pendant Rabbit's Foot, a recent save, just making sure all those Horns of Life are distributed evenly among party members, because you never tell who's going to drop in this fight. I'll just need to check our results spreadsheet, but this could well end up being the fastest time in the tournament. I will just take a look to see if that is indeed the case.
Wow, Andy, so close to getting a red swirl on the flames. Meanwhile, Temple's found Onett.
I'm taking a look at the match history for the tournament, and currently the fastest completion of an Ancient Cave Seed for this tournament is a 46-26 by none other than, you guessed it, AndyPerfect. So getting through Gygas on the first try here will knock that time down even farther.
Nice
Does
alpha.
get lucky and gets the good side of the coin flip. Very low damage, too.
Paralysis did not work, though.
You do see some runners go for a backup brain shock, but not one of them. Taking big advantage of that super plush bear that Andy picked up as well. Those teddy bears are very, very valuable because they deflect 75% of attacks towards it. You can serve as many of Paula's psychic points as possible for the next phase of the Gygas fight.
Yeah, all the shields disappeared on this turn. I'm not sure if that was a miscount by Andy or if he has another plan in mind. Maybe he's
He
really...
was just going for it.
Maybe he's a lot better than I am at counting HP. That's probably the answer.
No, he was just going for it. Also, the HP totals. The HP totals are randomized slightly for bosses. So he will not know exactly how much HP is left.
So little I know.
Ooh. PK Flash Death on Pooh. That's going to cut off a lot of damage. But with the heavy bazooka, it shouldn't be too big a deal as long as you can keep Jeff alive.
And Jeff, I think, is the one... Yeah, Jeff's with Prey, so you're definitely going to want...
Jeff is the Prey character. We're going to be going for Thunders because Freeze does not do a lot of damage, and we have a Nest down, so Andy has no healers, is going to need to use some of those Horns of Life. If he wants to have healers. Andy has to think about reviving one of his healers here because if he gets hit with a freeze, oh wait, no, he has C Pennant Franklin badge. He's fine. Yeah, he's invincible. He's got this under wraps. Because whenever do you get C Pennant? When do you ever get C Pennant and Franklin badge in an Earthbound Seed?
I don't know. Ask AndyPerfect.
But he's got this under wraps and is well on his way to not only the winners finals, but setting a new tournament record. And Temple's not making bad progress either, just that unfortunate happening earlier on in the race just was too much of a setback to be able to come back against an opponent such as AndyPerfect, and I feel really bad for him because that was not his fault. It is 9 prayers in total that Andy will need.
There should be 7 that he's on right now. Oh, maybe that was only 6. Alright, there's 7.
So we have just the Darkness prayer and the final prayer left, and this is going to be a tournament record by a significant margin.
Should be a 41.
And this just shows you how extraordinary of a runner that Andy is. This will be his second 40-minute time in the tournament. No one else in the tournament has had a sub 50.
41-48. GG AndyPerfect.
That will do it. AndyPerfect has punched his way to the finals and will face the winner of Thomas and myself in the other semifinals match. But I tell you what, either one of the potential opponents for that match is not going to have a great time. You get AndyPerfect if you win. You get Doc if you lose.
Yeah.
It just shows you the caliber of runners that's left in this tournament. And even on the other side of the bracket, we have Sakubi, and none of these runners are free. And meanwhile, Temple finding the floor 5 boss, having a little bit of trouble with Clumsy Robot. Unsure if Temple knows that he's lost. But wow, just what a performance. Anybody can find a floor 9 in 15 minutes or less with enough luck, but to be able to get a time like this in the 40s, you have to be both lucky and good. And Andy has shown that he is able to capitalize on such luck when it occurs. Temple really just hoping for a paralysis on Clumsy Robot, because if you paralyze Clumsy Robot, he can't really do much to you. Might have increased resistance, though, because this is several times that paralysis has failed. Getting very unlucky with the missile attacks. Clumsy Robot has 8 different actions that it can perform. And that missile is the only one that does damage. A clumsy robot has a solidify attack and then 6 attacks that do nothing. Getting some stats from Andy. But overall, just a fantastic performance from both of our runners. 2 L button NPHs, that's pretty good. Anything under 5 is what you want to see.
2 chickens freed.
You don't see that too often either. Usually it's either 0 or 1. And Temple does make it past Clumsy Robot, and we'll move on to floor 6.
I don't think the paralysis ever worked, right? That was just luck with freeze.
Freeze and hypnosis, of all things, was able to put Clumsy Robot to sleep instead.
So it seems Temple was on floor 6 before when he was on Magic Ant.
And then just use psychic attacks.
Here, let me actually switch our audio back. We definitely need the special step sound. That's very important.
It's a pretty good one. One thing I just noticed from watching Andy's credits is that floor 1 and floor 9 had duplicate music.
Yeah, I was actually a little confused about that. I thought I was losing my mind.
And now that we have the credits to verify that, I was wondering.
Temple.
And it does look like Temple has thrown in the towel.
Yep. Okay. So I think that's gonna be it for now. Let's see if we got anybody to host.
We will need a host, won't we?
All right, let's go host Dr. Swellman.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea. Let's go cheer on Doc. Thanks for everybody for coming out. I've been Riker Rider.
Yep, thank you very much for the commentary. Thank you, Temple and Andy, for the runs. I'm sorry, Temple, that we had the hardware issues. I guess we'll look into that. But as far as I know, Andy is going to move on. So congrats to Andy, and go give Doc some love. See you guys.
Have a good one.